So first things first, the Steelers tackles have to play big. Now, and again, I talked about this. It's not like they haven't played. You know, Troy Faitano played a football game last year, played pretty well in that football game. Broderick Jones, he's played basically a year and a half of football for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Decent his first year, lousy his second year. Big position change. So let's start with Troy first. You know, he's got to stay healthy. You know, there were some injury concerns earlier in his career in college, but his last 2 years he played, he was healthy. But then he got hurt twice last year, twice in a matter of, oh, I don't know, 6 weeks time, you know, and the second one put him out for the whole year. It was it was troubling to say the least, you know. Got hurt in the first preseason game, gets healthy, starts the game against the Denver Broncos, and then in practice blows his knee out, and that's the end of it. So basically, it was a redshirt year for him. You know, got a little action, got some practice time, knows how to be a professional now, you would hope. Not that he wasn't a professional last year, I'm not saying that, but, you know, it's an adjustment period for everybody. And it looks like that he might be, from what everybody says, he's ready to go. Now, again, we're not going to know anything until you get out on the football field. But if he just plays like he played that one game last year, the Steelers upgraded at right tackle. Again, I'm not saying he's got to go out there and play phenomenal, but if he just literally plays like he played in the one game that he played last year, if he does that all year, the Steelers upgraded at the right tackle spot by a wide margin. The troubling part is that's how bad Broderick was. So let's get to Broderick. Broderick is moving over to the left side. I've said it on many occasions. I think Broderick Jones is the most talented offensive lineman that the Pittsburgh Steelers have. Just raw talent, power, athleticism. And on occasions, when you see him do it correctly, it's incredible. You know, and I'm going to continue to say these things about him because they're true. But last year, the lack of effort, the lack of want to, the attention to details, all those things, they just weren't there. Or I guess let me say this: all those things you saw out of him last year, which is a problem. You know, not getting off on the snap count, not necessarily knowing which way to go. I mean, there was one time you saw Broderick do a pirouette trying to block a guy. I'm like, what are we doing? So he's got the ability, but now he's got to put it out there. And I've said this over and over again, and I'm going to keep saying it because people always want to give him the excuse of, well, he's a left tackle and it's hard to play right tackle. Man, he was fine as a rookie playing right tackle. He was fine. I'm not saying he was great, but he was fine. He took 2 steps back last year, and everybody knows that, including him. Big year for him. Big year for him, because if it doesn't work out this year, the Steelers will be going into the draft next year to look for another left tackle. I can 100% assure you of that, because they're not going to sit around and just wait for this guy if he can't play. This is his opportunity. And I'll be honest with you, people, I think he can do it. Now, look, he was the 14th overall pick. They moved up to get him. Faitanu, 20th pick, fell because, again, some of that older injury history. But both of these guys, if this pans out, the Steelers have a good line. I'm just telling you. And this is what they're going to need to do to have a good season. I've said it over and over, and I'll keep repeating it. It isn't that they have to play phenomenal football. Just give us average. If you give us average, the Steelers are better, because we didn't get average play out of our tackles last year. Dan Moore, God bless him, the second half of the season could have been some of the worst football from an offensive tackle that any of us have seen. It was atrocious, to say the least. Just a terrible way to end his career as a Pittsburgh Steeler, but we had seen it all before. I know early in the year we thought, man, Dan Moore's got it together. Second half of the year, it was the same old Dan Moore. He got paid, but it wasn't by us. So God bless him for getting paid, but It's time for the Steelers to move on. Obviously, they did, and it's time for Broderick and Troy to step up. You know, that is the thing. The one thing is former NFL linebacker or lineman, excuse me, not linebacker, going crazy here. Ross Tucker, he talked about it, and he likes Faetanu. He actually likes what Faetanu has to, or what he brings to the table. Now, again, it's hard to judge off of one game. You know, you see a guy, he's out there one game, but Ross Tucker may have seen some practice film and likes what he sees. He likes what he sees. Again, not a lot of tape out there on him right now, but he likes what he sees. The flip side to that is he's troubled by Broderick. And the reason that he's troubled is, like I said, it's a lot of the effort issues and the want to type of stuff. I feel like Broderick was just discouraged, didn't win the job in the offseason like he thought he was going to. Team moved him to right tackle and wanted to keep him at right tackle. Well, I think that maybe all of it got in his head, had a little injury. I think we all knew that he was hurt. But again, y'all know my rule. Don't give you a pass for being injured. Don't give you that. Being injured doesn't mean that you're allowed to play bad football. I just don't believe that. Not saying that, you're going to be 100% at your best, but that doesn't also mean that, oh, I'm hurt, so I get to play bad football. And Broderick, that was bad football, especially early in the year. My goodness, it was just atrocious football. But they got a chance. They got a chance. And that's the thing is that we get a fresh start. If they can be healthy, get in the playbook, understand what's going on, they got a chance because both of these guys are ultra talented. They are ultra talented, athletic, powerful. And if they can get it together, stay healthy, and keep it together both physically and mentally, the Steelers have a pair of really good tackles, people. So, but they are the key to the season. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. I say the offensive line in general, but to me, when you break that down another layer and peel back that onion, it's the tackles. It is the tackles. So let's go to the poll. Let's go to that poll question. Poll number 1, which tackle are you more excited to see in their new role for the Steelers in 2025? A, Broderick Jones moving over to left tackle, or B, Troy Faetanu finally healthy as a starter. Make sure when you answer the poll question, if you answer A, make sure you put 1A so we know exactly what poll question you guys are answering. I'll be interested to see what you guys say about this one. You know, I think a lot of people are going to say Broderick, but we didn't really get to see anything from Troy last year, so I'll be interested what you guys say. Let's move on.